Yeah, I know you're no stranger to videos online.
No, man. If you want to make money,
Most
you got.
my most active painting business pro member, and he's not a member yet.
Yeah. Actually, I will be. My wife and I were looking at that. I'm getting it tonight. So
Hell yeah, man.
we're gonna go. So you've got two that are. You got like the $3,000 package, which
Yeah,
seems that's probably way above. But right now you've got the package that's what 600, and the one that's a little more. What's
seven
the
hundred
difference?
and 1,000.
Yeah. What's the difference between the two packages?
Basically, I teach people to build this business in two steps, two phases. So I'm like, look, phase one, you need to build a foundation. So you need to like your business planning and strategy,
Yeah.
and like organizing your numbers and your metrics. You've got to get good at estimating, marketing, sales, and production.
Yeah.
And so I'm like, you should be able to do all of that yourself. So you're not doing the painting, but you're doing the marketing, sales, and production. And you should be able to do about 10,000 a week. Some people can do quite a bit more than that. I had a guy who's in one of my courses recently, another course, but he's doing like 25,000 a week. I'm like, dude, you're crazy, man. Hire somebody, but I recommend like, hey, get to 10K a week, right? So you're doing 7 to 10 estimates, you're selling 10 grand, and your profit should be about 3,000. You should be paying 50% to your contractors. So you want to get the business hitting the numbers you want it to hit at scale. And at around 10K a week, you're probably working about 40 hours a week. And I like to set boundaries, so I set that boundary at 40 hours and I can get to 10K a week, making 3 grand a week at 40 hours. That's phase one. Phase two is hire a production manager. That frees up 20 hours a week, increase marketing and sales. So now I'm doing like 15,000 a week. He's producing or she's producing. And then I hire a salesperson, and then I invest more into marketing and sales. And then I hire a second salesperson. And that's kind of phase two, is where I start hiring team members to run the thing, with the goal of getting to a point where I'm not doing any of the frontline work. I'm not doing the painting. I'm not doing the estimates. I'm not doing the production. I'm
Absolutely.
supporting my
I want
team.
this.
And so phase two is the team building stuff. That's what's included in the $1,000 one. So the
Okay. So,
$1,000 includes step one and step two. It's the whole thing. $700 is just phase one with the whole foundation. So there's more content in that first one for sure. Like that's the foundational, backbone of the business and all those systems and training.
okay. So if I buy basically the second plan, I get both steps, right?
Correct. And if you buy and I'm just saying this for other people too, if you get the basic one, you can upgrade later. You don't have to pay like the full amount later.
All right, well, that works perfect. I'll just buy the basics starting out. I like how you have the financing option. That's really cool. So my wife was talking about that. We're going to go with that
Yeah.
plan, which
That
is
makes sense, man.
package that as well. Like a lot of people that are smaller companies. So I've got a lawn care company.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
so if I go out and I finance something to my clients, say they had a tree come down during a storm or whatever, and I got to cut that up. Obviously, if I'm going to finance it out, I need
Yeah.
to make a little money off my, off of what I'm putting out there.
Yeah.
So I understand the option though.
No, I love
So
it, man. Well,
where I,
real quick, just for people, man, I think your story's kind of cool. You want to and I don't really know the whole thing. Are you still there? I hope you're breaking up or I'm breaking up. Do I have you still?
yeah, you got me. You were breaking up a
Cool.
bit there.
So, yeah, man, so you run a lawn care company, landscaping company, and how'd you get into the painting business? What's happened so far? Just give me a quick 3-minute rundown or whatever.
All right, I'll try to jam it in and make it as short as possible. Basically, I was put in a position. 2013, I transitioned from being a factory worker full time, always on payroll.
Yeah.
I was making about 18 an hour. My wife was in a situation where health wise and everything, we transitioned from where I was at in Kansas and moved to Tulsa to her hometown so she could have family. Are you cutting up there?
I'm following you. Zoom
Anyways,
does a good job fixing it.
all right. So I got out of the employee situation and looking for jobs here. It was, well, I started working for a contractor when I came here, matching my pay. She retired. And then I was in a position where, she kind of backed off. And because of that, I was going, well, I got to do something.
Mm-hmm.
And I was looking around for $12 an hour. Wasn't going to cut it. My cost of living went way up.
Yeah.
So I transitioned into working for myself. It started out with little contracting jobs, little painting stuff. For a stuff like that, his Section 8 homes, fixing those. And then somehow just transitioned into lawn care. We had an ice storm, and I think that was really what kicked it off for me. And I started knocking on doors like crazy because there's trees down everywhere. I was knocking on doors, and most of what I was getting was selling on price, being the cheap guy. But that's okay, man. I was out banging it out and getting as much as I could. That kicked off, and so I started that business with absolutely no money, because when we came here, we didn't have anything. We kind of fell on our face with credit, so credit wasn't an option either. So now I'm in this position with this business. I'm treating it exactly the same way, only I have a different opportunity, because what I didn't have before is I was using all the money from that business instead of being able to grow it. I was sustaining our life, paying our bills, things like that. So it's very slow growth. Now I'm in the painting business where I can use my lawn care business, which has become, we do about 10,000 a month doing that. And I work about 3 to 4 days a week consistently. And then if I want to work more, there's always bush trimmings, mulch, this and that, things I can do. So we've got all that. That's paying our bills. Now I've got the painting business. I had an employee work with me. That's what he did, was he did painting. So in 2015, we painted a house for a client, and then it's kind of been biting at me since then. I wanted to do it. I found your videos this winter, and I went, well, I really like his method. Kind of dove in deep with you. So I've watched all your videos. So if you're gonna look at somebody, like you're obviously a coach or a mentor, dive in deep with you. I like your content. I like all the free stuff. So that's why we're buying your package. Yeah. But I have been using the business to pay for everything, all the expenses. So lawn care is paying for my bills, and then putting jobs out. So our first job was about a month ago. I got that off Facebook by putting ourselves out there, just making an ad saying we do things like that. And then I bought door hangers from that. We started blasting door hangers, knocking doors. So we're starting to get jobs. We're putting in, I think we've done right around 70,000 in estimates so far this month. So, well, not this month, but this past month, the last 30-day cycle. So, that's decent. We're not landing a whole lot, but I imagine what we're doing is we're going through the communication process, talking with them, answering the questions, things that go into that nature. So we've got several that are hot leads, but we'll have to see if they actually pan out or not.
You'll get some of those for sure. And then I think once you get some of the sales process stuff dialed in, that'll help. And then once you get some more reviews and referrals and stuff, that'll help too. Let me real quick just switch what internet I'm connected to, because that might help. So hang on just one sec. I'll probably disappear for a second.
No problem, man.
Okay. Hopefully this will work a little better.
No, you're good, man.
Cool.
All right. So basically where I'm at with following up with the estimates, because I'm putting the estimates in, and I like your form of selling. Don't push them, just put it in, give them an honest number, walk them through it.
Yeah.
Right now, kind of where we're at is I put a 3-year warranty on all exterior for touch up to help us stand out. I'm asking for video reviews upon completion. So, I put one of those up recently. I'm asking for the 5-star review on Google. That's all stuff I wish I would have done in the landscape. I feel that business could have popped off. And then following up. So I follow up with calls, like you said, put the estimate in, follow up with several calls. And then I'm also sending them a hard copy in the mail as well.
Nice.
And then following through email. I think it'll go well.
Yeah.
So
definitely, man. Well, and I think some of the things that you're going to get into at the course is going to help you streamline a few things at the landscaping business too. I think they'll play nicely together. Quite a few people who are like doing 2 trades, and they're like, they bought the painting business pro course for painting, but then they're like, dude, this is like also applicable in this other thing I'm doing too. So
yeah. I use the same CRM software that I use for lawn care. I use that for the painting as well. Nice. It just made it so easy for lawn care. I saw no reason not to use it for this.
Yeah. Oh, that's great, man. So is there anything, I think a lot of things are going to get answered in the course and stuff, but I just thought it was a cool story because you just did such a great job just like making it happen. And I love seeing it because it was from like just some of the free stuff. And you're just like, it's just such a great example of showing how simple it can be. And you're doing it right too, which I like seeing. Like you're taking your time with that first client. I noticed like, even in your Facebook Live, you're like, look, I watch those, and you're like, I am, really making sure we get the prep good, and I'm coming back tomorrow to look over everything really closely, make sure this client's really happy. You're getting the reviews, you're getting the video testimonials, you're putting that time in. 70,000 in bids is quite a bit to put out. I expect that even if the sales process isn't very good, you should win like 10 to 15,000 of those. Ideally, you want to get to a point where you're winning 20, 25, 30,000 of those. But that'll come, man. It's cool to see. What's been your experience so far on these paint jobs so far compared to your landscaping business?
It's pretty good. Obviously, when I actually look at it profit loss standpoint, where we're at right now, it looks horrible. But that's because we're in the very beginning stage. So I'm buying a lot of equipment, which would break down obviously over a longer duration of time. So when you don't put those in the job cost, looks great. I mean, I'm at the point where with the lawn care, I'm very niche down. And so I only service a small area. I'm down into 5 neighborhoods. They're all back to back. And, I'm in and out on that route. So I'm banging out 20 plus lawns a day. They're $50 a pop. So we're making real good money. But it's very, very hard and physical labor on my body. So it's real intense. And that's kind of what I'm getting away from is I don't want to do this. This is 6, almost 7 years I've been doing the lawn care and landscape, and we got the cleanups in the winter, and you go through the same cycle with, your off season. And I'm beating the hell out of my body. And where I'm at, if I want to scale it up, if I want to get out of the truck, I would have to replace myself. All my equipment needs to be upgraded. It needs, there's a lot of small things that get in the way like that. And as far as painting goes, even if I wanted to use an employee situation and not a subcontractor situation, you're really only looking at a van, sprayers, some ladders. It's really not a whole lot of front cost for running that crew, and then finding somebody, obviously, which is the harder part. Luckily, like I said, with the employee I've had in the past for lawn care, he's years of experience painting. So I got real lucky there. I think we'll use the employee method for sure while we're starting up, although I am running into some problems already. So I'm paying $20 an hour, and, he's already we busted that out in a day.
Sorry, you said I lost.
Came back and did some touch-ups.
You said you were paying him $20 an hour, and then what happened?
So we're paying him $20 an hour, and he's already hinting at wanting more money.
Got it.
So, with liability and the business and everything that I'm putting up is risk reward. So if he wants to be a subcontractor, he needs to save his money and kind of do what I'm doing, get the equipment and set up right. You know what I mean?
Yeah. And if you are going to use employees, I don't know if you know, I had a business in Tulsa. We sold it. My business partner there. Yeah, we sold it in January. My business partner there decided he's going to go and he's doing sales for an oil company now. And I think that's like a better fit for him. He's like an incredible sales guy. We did like 850,000 or so last year in Tulsa. And awesome. So it's a great market. We did all subcontracting. It's nice because it's year round. It's plenty big, in terms of, the size of the market to grow a nice big business there. If you're going to use employees, which a lot of people want to do, that's fine. I used employees for the first 5 years I was in this business. I use subs now because I see that there's all the problems you have with subs, you also have with employees, but all the problems you have with employees, you don't have all of those with subs. Yeah. It gets rid of some problems. The ones you still have, like people are like, well, how do you make sure they do a good job? I'm like, how do you make sure employees do a good job? What if you hire crappy people? I'm like, man, employees, there's a lot of crappy employees, So it's kind of the same thing, but I don't have to, with subs, I don't have to worry about equipment, maintaining it or buying it. I don't have to worry about tracking timesheets and material costs. So they're not going out and buying at scale. That's a bigger deal. If I'm the one early on buying the material, I know what I'm buying. Yeah. If I start scaling up and putting the trust in my employees to buy material for a job and they spend 10% too much, that just destroys my margins. Or they're leaving brushes out in the sun, or they're not cleaning their sprayer enough. And then I'm having to take that in and get repaired, or whatever.
Yeah.
The other issue is what you're saying, is this hourly thing. So if I were to use employees, and this is how I did it, is I wouldn't pay them. I would pay them hourly, but I wouldn't pay them hourly. I would say, oh, you're $20 an hour. Cool. This is a 50-hour job. So I'll pay you $1,000. And if you get it done in 40 hours, you get $1,000. If you get it done in 50 hours, you get $1,000. If you get it done in 100 hours, you get $1,000. And then I'd give them an incentive on material and say the budget for material on this job is $350. If you come in under, I'll split the difference with you. So incentivize that. So I'd turn them into a sub as much as I can in terms of guaranteeing margins. Mm-hmm. And then it aligns us on the same page to get the job done efficiently.
Yeah.
Because it's like, hey, man, you want more money? Cool, earn it. Like, because the risk you run is, especially like, I think this guy, it's probably not a huge risk because he's worked with you a long time. But when you start hiring employees hourly, they almost have an incentive to take their time and not break it up. Yeah, they just got an incentive to. And I'm not saying, look, it's hard work, but they don't get penalized if they leave touch-ups and have to do another lap around the house. You do. But if they're going to have to do an extra lap around the house leaving touch-ups and they're not getting paid extra for that, it gives them an incentive to not leave touch-ups to do that extra lap. Make sense?
Yeah, absolutely. Lawn care and I'm sure it's the same thing. This piece pay system, is that what you're referring to?
Exactly.
Yeah, something like that would be actually perfect for this, I think.
Yeah.
With the lawn, it would be a nightmare for me to figure out on how long it takes for every job, man hours.
Like 37 minutes, 23 minutes.
Yeah, it's ridiculous. And then, you got different times throughout the year depending on growth. So painting's pretty well standard. And, he's helped me with being able to estimate jobs, which has been nice. And then it's so basic though, estimating an exterior. So the average house in my area, you got a day of prep, got a day of, if it's real bad, you got 2 days of prep, you got a day of paint. So, we're targeting the single story to 2-story. I'm not getting into stuff too crazy. I did put a tutor house, but nothing too crazy.
Ease into that stuff. That's a big mistake people make. Maybe you saw it in some of my videos. The more simple you can keep it, the better early on. There's plenty of 1- and 2-story cookie cutter homes to make plenty of money. You don't need to go chase the $10,000 custom home, and you don't need to go chase the building that wants to get painted for $25K. Those jobs are more likely to kick your ass than they are to make you all that money you are envisioning. At least early on.
I'm estimating. That's why I'm sticking to the same market I'm using for my lawn care. We're banging out the door hangers in that area.
Yeah.
And I'm just overlapping them like crazy. So we're getting good return on calls for the door hangers for being, I guess that's not passive, but it's kind of a passive form of advertising, in my opinion.
I would say so.
Now it works real good when we, I will say knocking on doors, that's what everybody's afraid of, but every time we do it, we get an estimate about 1 an hour. So, of course, we're never out there more than 2 or 3 hours doing it, but per person, we'll get about 1 an hour. Yeah. So I think that's probably the best way to go.
Yeah. Dude, you're going to surprise yourself, man, how quickly you're going to get this thing ripping. I think you're going to be handing off those lawns or not doing those lawns faster than you think.
Well, I'm hoping, hoping so. And in all honesty, I just, you get to a certain point and you get to that burnout mode. I'm kind of there. So, it's making good money and I don't want to let it go now that it's making good money. And at the same time, I'm looking at my body going, man, it's harder for me to get up in the morning and everything's hurting. It's not feeling as good. And, that kind of is what it is.
Yeah.
I'd rather be in a position of estimating, working up stuff. I really enjoyed it. The business side of it versus, going out and cutting lawns. It gets to the point where it's brainless. And, when you're ready for the next step, say you're in a payroll job, you get to there and you're like, okay, I'm ready for that lead spot. That's the same thing. And I've really bottlenecked my lawn care business by leaving myself as the key member of the business, and then not having the financial backing as well to grow. So
Yeah, no, it's awesome, man. I'm excited for you, and I said that because I think with, you know, just how I can tell with just the little things you do, you're gonna do really. You've got what it takes. You know, you do things right, you do it with integrity, you work hard, you put your time in. You're not cutting corners. You're not trying to rush. You're just, you know, you're humble, down to earth, doing it the way it should be done. And some of these like little changes that we'll go into detail in the course, man. Look, it's not going to be hard for you to do. I'll just tell you, this is the numbers I would aim for if I'm you. 7,000 in sales a week. All right. So to do that for you, you're going to get 7 estimates done a week. Knowing what you know already, door hangers and knocking on doors, 7 estimates a week ain't going to be hard to do.
yeah,
And that's not even utilizing some of the other things that are pretty passive and easy to generate leads. So 7 estimates a week. Then when you follow a good sales process, you should close 7,000 in sales on that. At least. You know, I think we did like 500 estimates in Tulsa last year for 850 grand or whatever it was. So $7,000 in sales on 7 estimates. And then you want to make about 2,500 in profit on that. So you're gonna pay out 3,000 to 3,500. I'm sorry, 3,500 to 4,000 is going to get paid out to labor and materials. That's going to be your target. And then you'll have 300 to 500 a week for marketing. Your overhead costs are negligible at that point. Once you've already got your equipment cost down, which you won't need to keep buying that if you just utilize a subcontractor or something. And then your insurance isn't crazy expensive. Your website's not crazy expensive. There shouldn't be a lot of other overhead. That's what I'd be aiming for, is like 7,000 a week, 2,000 to 3,000 a week in profit. And it's on 7 estimates, 7K, 2 crews, you know, like 1 crew. Do you have anyone working with that one guy, or is it just him?
I was on the job site for this last one and the first one. Obviously, that's not ideal, so we'll be getting some with them if we go that route.
Yeah, so when you've already got some of the equipment going, so he could do about 2,000 to 2,500 a week, just him, and then a 2-man crew can do 5,000. That's all you'll need. 3 guys can do 7,000 a week for you.
Okay.
And that's all you'll need, man. So, you know, when you think about that, like you're out there running 7 appointments a week, setting the jobs up, and then if you set it up where it's all piecework, you don't need to worry about your margins much. You're only doing like 3 houses a week doing that, and you make 2,500 a week. And I think really quickly that starts to be like, cool, this is way more fun than mowing lawns every day or whatever. Not to downplay that. It's just an exciting transition for you. You know, you put in your time, and like you've learned a lot of good customer service type of stuff and putting your time in and all that stuff with what you've done. And I think you're going to be surprised how quick you can get this thing moving.
Yeah, for sure. When you were talking about the marketing, I do want to throw out, because little free things.
Yeah.
Like I took a video of him, because I know you'll probably put this up on your channel. I took a video of him on Facebook Live on my business channel of him painting a little portion of the house, like a 15-second video. Yeah. And then shared that into 7 or 8 local buy-sell trade groups. And so all free. And I did that, and we got 2 estimates off that within 24 hours. So, I mean, that are great to implement as well, you know, for somebody, you know, kind of shoestrapping it like I am. Yeah, man. No, it's beautiful. So you literally just shared the video to a few local buy-sell trade groups? Yeah, I started doing that with the lawn care last year when I was trying to pick up landscaping jobs. And what I was doing was I'd make Facebook Lives. So why I'm so comfortable on the phone now is I've been doing this for like a year, making videos. Yeah. And I would go Facebook and I would talk about whatever philosophy. I've listened to a lot of audiobooks. I'd be like, I learned this, whatever. And I'd talk about lawns, or, you know, I'd explain why we do something a certain way, just giving out tips and, or showing a project while we're in the middle of it. And then I would share it into 42 local groups, which Facebook doesn't like a whole lot. You do that about 4 or 5 times a week and they'll shut you down for a few days. Yeah. But yeah. I mean, it got us a lot of business for free. So I love it, dude. I love the hustle. About 4,000 views off of it. That's awesome, man. Yeah. Awesome. So any last quick questions for now? I mean, obviously when you get the course, you'll be in the members area, a lot of stuff happening there. And then I'm going to be doing another, there'll be some more stuff coming out. Do you get my emails, by the way? Yeah, So I've signed up to several different things. So I'm getting a lot of emails a day. I don't know if I cycle through more than one of those, but I'm completely cool with that. I'll take all the content you send my way.
It'll turn into one a day, and then if you like open it or click it, you might get another one. But
Yeah.
I think you probably sign up for like the estimating guide and the startup checklist and the proposal. So all three of those are like 4 or 5 emails in a row. So you're probably getting one from each of those right now, but eventually they'll cycle into just, you'll get my daily emails. So I send an email out every day, and once you get through those first few, then it'll turn into like a daily email.
I'll take them all. Your estimating forms were really cool. What I really liked was your goal setting form.
Nice.
That was awesome. I mean, it took me. It wasn't until this past winter, like right before I found your channel, that I started actually doing that with my business. Before I'm like, I want to hit $100,000 in sales. I want to hit $100,000 in sales, and I just say I wanted this big number, but I never came up with a plan to actually get there. How much do I have to meet, in a 30-day cycle, and in a 5-day cycle for the work week, and how am I actually going to coordinate it? How do I start removing my off season? So now I actually schedule workouts so that I have work during the winter. Things like just little stuff like that business plan though.
Yeah.
I mean, for as it is for setting sales goals, it took me years to figure that out.
Yeah.
So it's a huge help. So going in, I saw it with your painting, and I can just kind of plug and play, and I go, okay, well, if I follow this, I'll be pretty close to where I want to be. You know what I mean?
Exactly. Awesome.
So that's a huge asset. But I'll be recording and putting everything on YouTube as far as my journey through the painting business.
Nice.
I'm just going to put it up on Hansen Painting. So I'll talk about our struggles, what we're doing, whether it's the using employees and switching to contractors, which I kind of ultimately think that's the road we'll go. It just seems, it seems like the better way to go. And then that also gives you another option to grow. My mother-in-law did a lot of contracting. So you go from painting to maybe siding and then roofing or whatever. I don't know if I want to do that, but who knows where I want to be in 20 years. I didn't think I'd be in lawn and landscape. I thought I was going to die at a factory.
Yeah, man. Well, and when you start getting there, I've got some suggestions about all that. So.
Yeah, for sure, man.
But I got to pop on to another one here, man. But I appreciate you taking the time, man. I'm excited for you.
Yeah, I love it. I'm looking forward to being in your group and my experiences about it. So I'll definitely talk to you up.
It'll be fun to watch your journey, man, because I think you're gonna kick ass. So it'll be fun.
Thanks, Eric. I appreciate it, man.
Have a good day, man.
You too, bud.
Take care.